I've seen a lot of carousels talking about the Academy using this image as a background. And as a professor who runs summer art history trips to Florence, Italy, I want to tell you about the amazing artist behind this image, which makes it even more relevant. The Renaissance is often painted as progressive and full of reason and science, and in comparison to the times that came before it, maybe. But in a lot of ways, it was not that at all. Artemisia grew up in a world where women were the property of their fathers or their husbands. And Artemisia's father, Orazio Gentileschi, was a famous artist. And in 1611, while living in Rome with her father, Artemisia was raped by her father's friend and collaborator, Agostino Tazzi. Her father tried to solve the situation in the normal way in the Renaissance, which was to try to get Tazzi to marry Artemisia without her consent or input, I'm sure. But when that fell apart, he ended up taking Tazzi to court. And it had to be him because Artemisia as a woman had no legal standing. A court trial for a woman in Italy in the early 1600s who had been raped or sexually assaulted was particularly horrible. It often included a public physical examination, which was meant to be humiliating, and in some cases, including this one, actual torture to make sure the woman wasn't lying. In this case, they used the practice of sibile, which is taking cords and wrapping them around the fingers and tightening them to try to get the victim to confess. Even at a young age, Artemisia was a painter. So aside from the, obvious torture of it all, this was a big deal for her professionally because her hands were her livelihood. Nonetheless, Artemisia held her ground, they won the court case, and she went on to have a major international career. Really kind of the first of its time in a lot of ways. She worked in Rome, Florence, Venice, Naples, and even the court of King Charles I in England. And she became the first woman admitted to the Accademia dell'Arte del Disegno in Florence, which was one of the most important artistic institutions in Europe at the time. She built an entire career as a woman artist. And the painting she became most known for is this one, which is Judith slaying Holofernes, which is currently housed in the Uffizi in Florence. And if you ever get a chance to see it, run, don't walk, because it's even more incredible and even more kind of gruesome and brutal and graphic in person. It's really hard to see in digital images, but when you're up close to it in real life, you can see that Judith has like a fine spray of blood across her chemise and her chest. It's badass. But Artemisia painted many subjects like this across her career. Women who are powerful, intelligent, and acting on the world around them. And unafraid and badass. More people need to know about this queen, and I think she would be thrilled to know that her painting was being used like this 400 years later. What is the rage art made by women that you're gravitating right now? I want to know. Let me know in the comments.